Good morning, everyone. It's about 7 a.m. and I am about to head to my first pet sitting visit of the day. I have a full schedule of pet sits and dog walks today, so I'm going to bring you along with me. And today is a very special day, a very exciting day, because we just hit 5,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. I can't say thank you enough, and to celebrate, I put a survey out on my Instagram and my Facebook asking y'all to submit your questions for me. And as we go through my pet sits and my dog walks today, I'm going to answer all of your questions. So come along with me. All right, I'm here with Miss Phoebe. She is so sweet. I love Miss Phoebe. I've been checking on her 3 times a day for a couple days now, so you'll see her a couple more times in today's video. But I thought we'd jump right into the questions. And the first question that was submitted was, what is a pet that you would like to pet sit for one day? And you guys know I've been a full-time professional pet sitter for 10 years now, and I have taken care of all kinds of cool pets in those 10 years. You know, I've taken care of, thousands of dogs and cats, but I've also taken care of monkeys and snakes and horses, llamas, goats, chickens, alpacas, peacocks, all kinds of just really cool animals. I think if there's anything that I have not taken care of yet that I would like to take care of in the future, I would like to take care of something exotic, which I would probably have to pet sit for like a zoo, but like a tiger or a lion or a bear or something like that would be really cool. I wouldn't know how to take care of them, so I would have to take a class first or get some real training, but I think that would be really fun. All right, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now, and I am here with Miss Charlie. She's a sweet outdoor cat, and then her sister Evie is inside. Evie was hiding this morning, but this is just a quick 15-minute visit for me to make sure they have breakfast, make sure their litter is okay, and then I will have a longer visit with them this evening to actually have hopefully some playtime and loving if Evie's up for it. Their parents are out of town for a little over a week, so I'm checking on them just twice a day while their parents are away. And I'll get to the next question at our next visit with Rumor and Hazmat. It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning, and I am reconnected with Miss Rumor here. I love Rumor. She's just one of my all-time favorite dogs that I've taken care of. She's watching somebody out the window right now. What's going on, Rumor? This is my first visit this go-round with her. Her parents left for a trip super early this morning, and I'm going to have 3 30-minute visits a day with Rumor and her kitty sister Hazmat for the next week. You guys actually met Rumor and Hazmat on my last day in the life video, which was almost 2 months ago, but it was a really good one. So if you haven't watched that one, I'll put the link to that down in the description below. But I just gave Rumor breakfast, and now we're gonna go for a short walk. As I was driving from Evie and Charlie over to Rumor and Hazmat, it was supposed to be like a 3/4 of a mile drive, take like 3 or 4 minutes. But they had the main road that I take closed because they're putting in a roundabout, which meant that it ended up taking like 15 minutes. And it's just that kind of stuff that you have to plan ahead for as a pet sitter and dog walker. You never know when it might start raining on you, or when you might hit traffic, or when there's going to be a road closure. So that is exactly why I never give my clients an exact arrival time. I always give a 2-hour window. So I'll say I'll be there sometime between 6 or 8 or 11 and 1, something like that. So I can kind of maneuver around these traffic incidences and everything else. So just a little pro tip for you other pet sitters and dog walkers out there. So my next visit is just playtime in the yard with these 3 awesome dogs, and I can actually bring my baby boy, Turkey Bird, and little King with me. So I just swung by my house to pick them up, and I will catch up with you when we get there. What's up, Apollo? Hey, buddy. Hey, Griffin. This is little Zack Attack. Zach is 16 or 17 years old, and he's still hanging strong with these big dogs. He's such a cool dude. My friend Maris, who owns the House of Paws Pet Care in St. Louis, asked me what my most difficult challenge with being a small business owner is. And this is honestly a really hard question to answer because there are new and different challenges every single day when you're a small business owner. Just like how there's dog hair in my eyes right now. But if I had to narrow it down to one or two things, I would have to say that the most difficult part for me has been really accepting and getting comfortable with change. You know, change can be one of the most scary things in life for people, but it is inevitable and necessary when you are a small business owner. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I can tell you that what my pet sitting and dog walking clients expected from me 10 years ago is nothing like what they expect from me now. You know, technology has changed, our belief about pet care has changed, people's baseline knowledge of what they understand about animal body language and their pets' needs has changed. So I have had to learn how to be constantly evolving my business and my services, my way of operating, and everything to keep up with those other outside changes and make sure that we are trying to stay ahead of the curve as much as possible. And sometimes that means making some really difficult decisions. Sometimes that means doing things that you don't know what you are doing or if you are making the right decision, which means that you have to get really comfortable with making mistakes and you have to be okay with learning how to rectify the mistakes that you make as quickly as possible while trying to minimize as much fallout as possible. Kind of along with this, I think like the second challenge I would mention is just really getting comfortable and accepting the fact that you're in this on your own and it is all on your shoulders as the small business owner. You know, if you make a mistake or if you're not sure how to do something or what to do in a situation, you don't have a manager or a supervisor or someone to go ask for guidance. It's on you. And to me, that's one of the most exciting parts about being a small business owner. And it's something that I really love. I kind of think of my business like I'm putting together a puzzle every day, or like I'm painting a painting. And each decision that I make and each decision that I don't make is just another stroke of the brush on the canvas. But it can be really scary and it can be very challenging. But that fear and that loneliness that can come along with being a small business owner is one of the main reasons that I started making these YouTube videos. And it's why I have an email newsletter and why I offer some occasional coaching and all of that kind of stuff. It's to build a community of us to really bind together and help each other and remind each other that we aren't totally alone. I mean, it is on you to run your business and to make your own decisions. I can't do that for you, but it is really important to remember that you're not the only one that's been in whatever situation you are currently dealing with. You know, I've seen and dealt with pretty much anything and everything you can think of in my 10 years of being a business owner. And I can promise you that you are not alone and there are other people out there that know how you feel. So this was just a quick 30-minute playtime visit for these pups, and I'm wrapping up now. It's approaching 11 o'clock, so I've got to drive my dogs home, and then I've got to get to my next client. So I will see you there. I'm dropping Turkey and King off at home right now, and I have just a second to sit down at my computer and check in on my team. I have 14 of my 30 employees out in the field today, and the 14 of them are handling over 50 pet sitting and dog walking visits. That is not including the visits that I am doing myself. If you guys are wondering how I can keep track of so many clients and so many employees and all the moving pieces and parts while I am out in the field doing visits myself, it's really because of three things. I'll tell you. One, it's because I have an amazing team. They're absolutely incredible people, and we have trained them very well. They went through an extensive hiring process. Blah, 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 blah. You can sign up for my hiring course if you're interested in hearing more about that. The second thing is that I have an incredible operations manager and an incredible client relations manager. Brenna and Amber, if you're watching this, I could not survive without you. Thank you for everything that y'all do. For everyone else that's watching this, what they do is they handle all of the day-to-day operations. What I tell everyone is that I did not start a pet sitting and dog walking business to sit in front of a computer doing scheduling and invoicing and all that administrative work. I started a pet sitting and dog walking business so I could be outside in nature with pets, with dogs and cats and animals. That is what brings my soul joy and fulfillment. And I really do not enjoy the administrative side of the business, but that side is very necessary. So I have hired people like Brenna and Amber to do that side of stuff for me, which allows me the opportunity to go outside and do what makes me happy. So the third thing that makes it possible is time to pet. Any of you guys that have watched my YouTube videos know how much of a game changer I believe Time to Pet has been for my business. Time to Pet is a software and a mobile app where on our side, we can see where all of our team members are and make sure that everything is being done up to the bad to the bone standard. And on the client side, they can upload all of their notes and instructions. They can submit their scheduling requests. They submit their payments, all of that good stuff. And then on our employees' side, they can see all of those notes and instructions, and they can clock in and clock out of each one of their visits that they're doing, and they can communicate with the clients via the instant messaging feature. And if any of you guys are interested in using something like Time to Pet for your business, you can actually save 50% off of your first 4 months by going to timetopet.com/Doug. That is my special referral link, and I will put that down in the description below. Going along with Maris's other question, she also asked me which trainings and certifications or courses have been the most helpful for me as a small business owner. And I'll start by saying, if you don't know, I do have a bachelor's degree in business management from the University of North Florida. I have a project management certification. I have a fear-free certification. I've gotten several pet sitter certifications over the years. I have taken several courses online about web building and Google Analytics and all of that good stuff. I'm actually currently working on my pet nutritionist certification right now. And I can tell you that the majority of these courses that I have taken have not helped me as much as I hoped they would. But that being said, the two things that have really helped me are, one, finding a way to get in the room with other small business owners and just really listening to how they approach things and how they handle the situations in their business, even if it's not pet care businesses, just seeing how other small business owners think has helped me a lot. And then the other thing that I would just really recommend to everyone is to take a class on accounting and finances. I took a lot of those classes at UNF. I took financial accounting, managerial accounting, financial management, calculus for business, all kinds of classes like this. And even though I don't use all of the formulas and all the fancy math that we learned in those classes every day, it did teach me the importance of understanding your numbers. And that is something that is just vital for us as small business owners, is we need to know where every dollar is coming from and where each dollar is going. And we need to always keep our profit margin in our mind. I think it is so important, and it is something that is really overlooked and misunderstood by a lot of the pet business owners that I know. All right, it's now almost noon, and I'm here with little Lucy and Sophie. Lucy and Sophie have actually been Bad to the Bone clients for a few years now, but this is my first time ever meeting them and walking them. A couple of our team members usually do their walks, but no one else was available, so I fit them into my schedule today, and we're getting to know each other right now and about to go for a little walk. Life is good. While we're sitting here, we'll hit the next question. And Andy asked, how do I get Rover users to use me? And my answer to this is a very simple: stay away from Rover. I would recommend it to no pet owners and no pet sitters and dog walkers. I've talked about this in several of my videos before. I have a lot of different reasoning behind this. I could make an entire video focusing on this if you would like me to. Drop a comment down below if you'd like to see that in the future. But you need to design and build your own business and attract your own clientele. I'm at a stoplight on my way back to Phoebe for her midday visit, and I was just thinking maybe I should add a little bit more context about my Rover comment there. I don't want this video to be about that necessarily. Like I said, I can make another video about it, but what I will quickly say is that anyone in the world can sign up as a pet sitter or dog walker on the Rover platform, even if they have never seen a dog before. And the people on Rover have had no vetting and no training at all. Now, Rover does like a quick little background check, but it's not a fully comprehensive background check like the ones that I do on my employees. And again, there's no training and there's no oversight at all. You know, Rover is simply a software company that connects pet sitters to pet owners. And I believe that pets deserve more than that. Pets deserve better than that. They deserve people that are true professionals, that take this seriously, that have the proper vetting and training. So that's why I would recommend Rover to no pet parents ever. And then as a pet sitter and dog walker, you know, because Rover allows all these people to sign up on their platform with no vetting or training, you hear all these horror stories of dogs dying in Rover sitters' care, dogs being lost. I mean, just Google Rover and look at all the news articles of the absolute disasters that have happened. And when you sign up as a pet sitter and dog walker on that platform, you are just tying your reputation along with all of that crap. And that's why I say if you care about your reputation, you will not taint yourself by being associated with something like that. All right, it's almost 1 o'clock now, and I am back with Miss Phoebe for her midday walk. It is getting really hot out here. It's like 91, 92 degrees with a lot of humidity today. And it's just like May 2nd. I don't know when you guys are watching this video, but I'm filming this on May 2nd. So I think we are going to have a really hot summer ahead of us. Since I was just talking to you guys about the importance of being a true professional and protecting your reputation as a pet sitter and dog walker, I thought I would mention these retractable leashes. You should never, ever use a retractable leash. If a dog is 10 feet in front of you or 10 feet behind you, then they could bolt out into traffic without you being able to stop them. They could pick something up off of the ground and eat it without you even realizing it. Plus, like the spring mechanism inside of these things is known to break, especially when you're walking like strong, larger dogs. We actually have a policy in our contract that our clients sign saying that we will not use these. We also will not use prong collars or shock collars or any kind of aversive training methodology either. So I know you guys are all asking yourselves, why the heck am I holding this and why is it attached to Phoebe if I just told you to never use it? Now, and this is where I will say that Phoebe weighs like 10 pounds and we don't go on a real walk. I mean, we just come right outside of her apartment building, come right here to the river, and we go right back inside. And this is what she's used to using. This is what her parents want her to be on. So I just lock it at a 4-foot length. That way she cannot be 10 feet in front of me or 10 feet behind me. It acts as a normal standard leash that way. And it really comes down to remembering that as a small business owner, you can enforce your policies however you want to. And if Phoebe was a larger dog, or if we were going on like an actual substantial walk, I would enforce the retractable leash policy. However, considering the circumstances, we would not have been able to land Phoebe as a client had we enforced that policy. You know, her family made that clear to us during the onboarding process. So I had to pick and choose my battles, and I chose to not enforce that policy. And I mean, honestly, that's one of the best and most important skills you can learn as a small business owner, is how and when to pick and choose your battles. It's now about 1:30, and I'm back with Miss Rover and Hazmat for their midday visit. We're in the backyard here for just a minute now, and then we're going to go for another short walk. And Dana asked me if I carry around any treats, or and what kind of treats I carry with me. And yes, I do carry treats. You guys may have noticed that I have this bag clipped to the side of me at all times, everywhere I go. Sometimes it's this bag, sometimes it's a little bit bigger bag. If I know I'm going to be walking in kind of a sketchier area, I have a bigger bag. That way I can have some pet corrector and other things in it. But this little bag is full of all kinds of treats and my poo bags and some business cards. So today I have several different kinds of treats. This is dehydrated beef liver. It's a Stewart brand treat that I order on Amazon. Most dogs will do pretty much anything for these. Rumor, you want a treat? Yeah, she's a good girl. I also have these little, I think these are bocce treats. This is just like Purina Pro Plan dog food. I think this is the remnants of a pill pocket or something. I have all kinds of different treats. This is like a jerky treat. Each and every dog likes different treats, and some dogs will have allergies to certain treats. So I always just have plenty of options on me to make sure I'm keeping all the dogs happy and healthy and safe and all that good stuff. And a quick note on that, we never give dogs treats without asking the client first. And that's part of the new client onboarding process with us at Bad to the Bone, is we ask, does your dog have any specific allergies or any dietary restrictions or anything like that? And then that is noted on their time to pet profile, and we just treat accordingly. It's now a few minutes after 2 o'clock, and I just swung by my house so I can pick up Turkey and King before I go back to check on Griffin and Apollo and little Zack Attack again. And while I'm here, I'm just taking a really quick second to just sit down and enjoy a couple minutes of air conditioning and eat a couple strawberries and a handful of cashews. It is really important to stay fueled up when you have a long day of pet sitting visits and dog walks. And I think it's vital that you do not let yourself get sucked into the trap of going through the drive-through. You know, fast food, I'm not a health nut, and I don't want to go on like a health rant or anything, but that stuff is full of trans fats and preservatives and all kinds of stuff that will lead you to an early grave. So just get yourself some strawberries and some bananas, some blueberries, some nuts, and keep yourself healthy. It's about 3 o'clock now, and Turkey and King and I are back here with little Zack Attack and Griffin and Apollo. We're enjoying some time out in the yard. And the next question we have is from my friend Amber, who owns Attaboy down in Lakeland, Florida. And she asked what our exact new client onboarding process is. Now, this is something that I plan on making a full video about, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here. But what I will say is that we have a new client sign-up form on our website. And we require all potential clients to go submit that form, no matter how they found us and no matter how they contacted us. A lot of clients will contact us via phone call or text or Facebook Messenger before they go sign up on that form. But we do require that they go fill out that form because it has some questions on it that really show us if we want to move forward with the client or not, and if we're even able to move forward with the client or not. Now, I require them to go fill out this form on the website, and I don't just take this information via text or phone call because I want it in writing. I want the client to put it in writing. That way we have it in their words, not what we thought they said on the phone. And, a lot of the time we're out walking dogs and doing things when the clients call, and we may forget to ask them a certain question, or we may forget what they said. So again, just getting it in writing is really important. And then from there, we actually have a exact script for the phone call or for the text that follows that sign-up form. So on the sign-up form, they indicate how they want us to contact them, either through email, text, or phone call. And then we have exact scripts that I have written out for my operations manager and client relations manager to follow as they are onboarding the new client, to really make sure that we are not missing anything, to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks, and also to ensure that every new client gets the exact same high quality experience across the board. Because you do not want one new client to just have a totally different experience than another new client. You want everything to be fully consistent within your business. But yeah, I will make a full video kind of covering our process on this in the future. I'll go ahead and hit the next question while we're here with Griffin and Apollo. And that is from Stacy, who owns Pup Dates out in Jax Beach. What's up, Stacy? She asked, what was the moment that I knew I had made the right decision with working with animals? And I love this question. And it was my very first client. It was day one of being a pet sitter and dog walker. I'll never forget it, honestly. I don't know if I've made a video about this. I should if I haven't. But she was a little like black lab pit mix named Sophia. And she spent the weekend with me at my house. This was before I started going to other people's homes to provide the services. It was back in the summer of 2013. So 11 years ago now, before I actually started my business. I was just kind of pet sitting as a hobby to make some side money at that point. And I remember when they dropped Sophia off at my house and paid me, all I could think was, oh my God, I can make money hanging out with animals and building relationships with animals. And I got to see the impact that my service made on Sophia's parents' lives. And that's what really brought it home for me. Because I was able to keep Sophia at my house that weekend, they were able to take a vacation that they had been wanting to take for a really long time, but weren't able to because Sophia just wasn't the best fit for an actual boarding facility. And they didn't want anyone to come to their home. So the fact that I could board her in my own home just made their vacation possible. And I mean, it changed my life. It changed my life. I never planned on starting a business. I never ever thought that I would still be pet sitting 10, 11 years later. I mean, at that point, I was going to college to be a pilot. I was taking flight classes um, before I changed my major to get a business degree. So I thought I was going to be, flying for like Delta or something at this point in life. There was just no way that I could do that after realizing that you can make money by building relationships with these guys. All right, it's now a few minutes after 4 o'clock, and I just got home, and I don't start my evening visits until around 6 o'clock. So, for the next couple of hours, I am going to be sitting here at my desk replying to emails and checking in with my team, checking in with clients, and all the fun behind the scenes stuff that doesn't make very good vlog footage. But I thought we had hit our next couple questions while I'm sitting here. Morgan, who is an awesome pet sitter over in Germany, who has actually done a couple coaching sessions with me, submitted several questions. So I'm going to try to run through her questions rapid fire here. Her first question was, have you ever wanted to quit pet sitting? Yes, I have wanted to quit pet sitting, and I have quit pet sitting. I actually shut my business down entirely in 2017, and I was only able to stay away for about 6 months before I just had to come back to it. It's like an addiction. I love it, it's in my soul. But yeah, there's been many times since then that I have wanted to quit. Never because of the animals, but the human clients can be really difficult sometimes. And just being a small business owner in general can be very challenging and really lonely at times. So, if any of y'all watching this have thought about quitting, know that you're not alone and know that it does get better. You just have to keep pushing forward. Her second question is, what was the worst client you have ever had? And I actually thought about this for a long time, and it's hard to really narrow it down to the worst client. I've had a handful of doozies over the years, and I think what it really boils down to is a type of client, not one individual person or client, but a type of client. And to me, the worst is the people that just will not do what is best for their pets, no matter what they are being told. I've had several clients over the years that I knew their dogs needed more visits, they needed more time, they needed a different kind of food, they needed a different kind of harness, they needed a larger crate, they needed training, etc., etc., etc. And I've tried to educate these people on these things, and they have refused for whatever reason. And in my mind, I believe that you should not get a pet if you are not willing to listen to the professionals and do what is best for the pet. So, moving on to Morgan's third question, she said, how do you manage burnout? Um, this one, kind of a loaded question, and I actually have made a video probably 2 years ago here on the channel called, I think it's called like Self-Love for Pet Professionals, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen right now, and I'll put a link to it down in the description below. But really, the best way to manage burnout is to set boundaries between yourself and your clients, meaning office hours, meaning really policies and holding yourself and your clients to said policies, not allowing your clients to have your personal phone number, all kinds of things like that can really help you manage burnout. And taking days off. I know that's really difficult for a lot of us as pet sitters and dog walkers, especially those of you that are solo and don't have a team, but it is necessary to give yourself a day off when you can. And you have to plan in advance for that. I plan, 6 months or even a year in advance and put it on my calendar. That way, when I have a client request me for those days, I just say, hey, I am not available. That is my me time. So do that. Her next question was, when did you realize it was time to hire your first employee? And The honest truth of this is that I never had that realization myself. It was my clients that had that realization for me. My roster filled up within about 10, 11 months of me starting my business, and I had to start turning requests away. And I had a client come to me and say, uh, are you ever going to hire someone? Because we would really like to keep using your business and know that the services are being done in the way that you would do them, rather than having to go find someone completely new when you're not available. The first time I had someone come to me and say this, I just kind of brushed it off and I laughed and I said, I'm a pet sitter. Pet sitters don't hire people. I'd never heard of someone having a team of pet sitters. But it was like the second or third time that a client came to me asking this, I said, you know what? Maybe I should try to hire. Why not? And now I've had employees for, I think, going on 9 years. And there's pros and cons to it, but I can tell you that I would never do this solo again. And then Morgan's last question was, have you ever been bitten by an animal that you are taking care of? And yes, I have been bitten. And one thing that I tell all of my new employees is that we are working with animals and anything can happen at any time. And the longer that you do this, the more your chances of getting bitten increase. And especially with me having done this 10, 11 years almost, it's inevitable that you will get bitten in that much time. And, I've got the scars here to prove it. I don't know if you can see here on camera, but what I will tell you is that every time I've been bitten several times, and every time I've been bitten, it was because of a mistake that I made. It was not a mistake that the dog made. It was me doing something that I shouldn't have done. And I have learned from those mistakes, and those are all mistakes that I will never make again. So pay attention, be careful, and just keep in mind that if you're going to do this for a living, you probably will get bitten at some point. All right, it's about 6:30 in the evening now, and I'm back for Miss Phoebe's last visit of the day. And our next question is from Savannah, the savvy sitter down in Orlando. And she asked, what is something that inspires you and keeps you going on the tough days? And this one's really easy for me. The answer is the pets. It's all about these guys. The dogs and the cats and all the other animals that I get to take care of, they keep me going. They bring so much joy, so much fulfillment, so much happiness and meaning and purpose to my days. And it's not just my time with the pets, but it's also knowing that I'm making a difference and an impact on their parents' lives too. You know, um, Phoebe's dad just had surgery, so I'm walking her while he recovers. And just knowing that he's able to have like an easier recovery from that hard surgery because of what I'm doing with Phoebe, it means a lot. And families are able to go on vacations or accept more hours at work or whatever the situation may be because of what we do as pet sitters and dog walkers. And I think it's so important to not lose sight of that. It's a few minutes past 7 o'clock now, and I'm back with Miss Evie and Charlie. I couldn't show you guys Evie this morning when I was here because she was hiding, but she's out now and she's ready for dinner and lovin'. All right, I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes just loving on Evie and talking to her. And I fed Charlie dinner outside and checked their litter and all of that good stuff. And next we will head to Rumor and Hazmat for their evening visit. It's almost 8 p.m. and I am here for Rumor and Hazmat's last visit of the day. And it's my last visit of the day before I get to go home and have dinner and take a shower finally. Rumor is eating her dinner right now, and Hazmat is actually out for us right now. Hazmat is usually hiding when I'm here, and I'm so happy that she's out. So, someone had anonymously asked if I have any goals outside of the pet sitting industry. And of course, I have lots of goals for my life outside of Bad to the Bone and what I do with animals. But for me, it really comes down to three major things. The first of which is that I want to be a dad one day. Ever since I was like a little kid, I have always known that I wanted to have kids one day and that I wanted to be a dad. And, that day is not going to be anytime soon, but one day I am going to make that happen. And then my second big goal is that I want to not only visit every country, but more importantly, I want to immerse myself in every culture of the world and truly get to know and understand all the different people of the world. And then my third major goal is that I do want to be involved in local politics one day. And I never want to be involved on the national level, at least not at this point in my life, but I could really see myself running for city council, not in this election, but probably in the next election, and then maybe one day running for mayor. Now, this is not some kind of like major announcement or anything. This is something I've publicly talked about for years. But when the day comes, I will be publicizing it everywhere, and I would love your vote. Okay, it's about 8:30 at night, and I just got home, and I'm here with my partner Cole, and I saved the best two questions for last, and I want him to answer this one. I want you to answer honestly. I'm really curious to what he has to say to this. Renee from the Sterling Pooch asked if there is a specific time that I shut off and become quote unquote normal, Doug. What do you have to say to that?
I've known Doug for about 8 years now. I don't think I've ever really seen him shut it off because when I think of Doug, I just think about Bad to the Bone. He is Doug the dog guy. It's never really shut off. That is just normal for him.
Yep. That's exactly what I would say too. I would say that what you see is what you get, and I got the nickname Doug the dog guy for a reason.
He did.
And our last question today comes from Dan Reitman of Dan's Pet Care up in New York. Dan has been actually one of my idols for years. And when I think about who I want to be as a business owner and what I want my business to look like, I think of Dan and his business. So thank you for submitting this question, Dan. He said, if you could go back and give yourself three pieces of advice when you first started, what would they be? And the first thing that I would tell myself is that this is a legitimate business and you need to think about it as such and act as such. For the first couple of years that I was doing this, I just kind of thought of it as a fun way to make money. And I really didn't start thinking of myself as an actual business owner and start taking stuff really seriously until a couple years into it. And then the second thing that I would say is that you'll never be able to make everyone happy, and that is okay. You need to focus on making yourself happy and work everything else around that. And then kind of tying along with that answer, my third thing that I would tell myself is to learn how to say no. Not just to learn how to say no, but get comfortable with saying no, get used to saying no, and say it often. I think as pet care providers and as business owners, we're all guilty of being people pleasers and wanting to try to make everyone happy, and that's just not the case. So learn how to say no early on. And with that, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this day in the life video with me. Again, this was a bit of a long video, but it was to celebrate us hitting 5,000 subscribers. I could have never imagined hitting 5,000 subscribers when I started putting videos out 3 years ago, and I can't thank you guys enough. I owe it all to you. And let me know down in the comments below what questions you would like me to answer in future videos. And with that, I'm Doug the Dog Guy. This is Turkey Bird, and we are reminding you to stay positive.